they get those things and the women is still not satisfying them because I just feel like it's not what you want.
This new generation of men, they don't like to spend money on females. Men now seem to want to be equal with women, which is really weird. How about instead of complaining about having to be a man, stick with women that'll settle for that?
Come on, let them see my princess treatment.
Well, you're supposed to be sitting in the car. How do you feel anything?
The real high value men get it. They understand it.
He started watching podcasts like Fresh and Fit. He started listening to content about MGTOW, and that man changed.
Anytime you ask a man now or any podcast a man has and they say the requirements, they're literally listing the same ones that Kevin Samuels had. And this is like, all right, like, yeah, rest in peace to that guy. But like, for real, there's no other requirements that you guys, what do you guys say? Fit, feminine,
cooperative.
Fit, feminine, and friendly. Like,
that's what I'm telling you, before he said it, that's what men always wanted. He just had a loud voice.
Yeah, he coined the phrase, but he didn't make it up.
I've heard men say, like, you know, like,
but
different
you know what
requirements
it is?
other than Kevin Samuels. That's not piggybacking off of Kevin Samuels. Then it's like, now when I listen to podcasts or like when you ask like men that you know is like, I'm gonna say the man is fair. I feel like Kevin Samuels just set like that standard for them, and that's just where they stuck at. When it's like really, and then it's like they get those things and the women is still not satisfying them because I just feel like it's not what you want. I just feel like you're saying that because it was handed to you in a handbook. You get me?
I think that's you know how women
accountability.
That's what we not willing to compromise on. Like, you trying to we want a woman that's feminine. We would prefer a woman that's fit. No, I mean, friendly is
what's
not.
fit to y'all?
I mean, everybody got
not
different.
obese. Yeah, not obese. Yeah.
Everybody got
obese,
different. That's all. I mean,
a BMI of 25 or below.
Okay.
Yeah, but there are obese married women.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody got different.
That's what I'm trying to.
But again,
how many?
I think when Kevin Samuels when he says feminine, fit, and friendly, right? He's talking about what men genuinely want across all ethnic groups, right? Not just black men. This is making yourself more available to all ethnic groups. That's just the borderline right there. You get what I'm saying? So unfortunately, when we say those things, then we have women on the other end. Well, what about Lizzo? Like, y'all always want to make the exception to the rule. And like, genuinely, men don't like big women. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all keep saying y'all thick, and like, you know, the average weight for a black woman is like what, 175, 180. That's crazy. Like, that's what men weigh. Like, you get what I'm saying? And not even men reaching out those. You get what I'm saying? So as you know, and we could talk about obesity just amongst black women. Like, you know what I mean? They lead the league in obesity. Like, you know what I mean? That contributes to heart disease, cardiovascular disease, a lot of health issues. And, you know, in our society, we keep trying to not hold those women accountable and keep saying, well, she loves, you know, she loves herself and stuff like that. But these are real health issues that really affect, and that's killing black women. That's really a thing. So, you know, to go back to your thing, I get what you're saying, because it sounds like everybody just piggybacking off of what Kevin Samuels said. But, you know, the thing about Kevin Samuels and about these podcasts is that men are finally in positions to have these conversations about, you know, what it is that they require in a woman. Like, you know, before we probably did accept the bare minimum. She just probably had to have a fat ass, you know, nice titties, whatever the case is. And, you know, now men are realizing their value, I think. And now we're saying, hey, you know what? This is what we require in women. And women are like, damn, y'all ain't never had standards before. Like, where the fuck all these standards came from now? Like, you get what I'm saying? So
it was happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, like, you know, so
I feel like it doesn't really surprise me that is what men want. I feel like across the board, men are simple. You guys are simple creatures. So being, so it's not, and y'all also are more so logical. So it's not really a surprise that across the board, these are the, let's say, 3 or 4 main things that you look for, because it's going to be just that.
Anytime you ask a man now or any podcast a man has and they say,
now you saw what the lady said at the end. I like that. But they think Kevin Samuels started it. No, Kevin Samuels didn't make it popular. Let me tell you something now. I feel like Fire Marshal Bill. Let me tell you something. Right? When Kevin Samuels was getting started, hell, when the manosphere was first getting started. But Kevin Samuels, he made it popular. And he said, winter's coming, right? Now, when he was saying that, I was here in the Philippines watching. But let me tell you something. before the manosphere even got started. I was here, right? And so he said winter's coming. But me, I was out in the heat for a long time. I'm talking about ages I've been here, right? I'm sitting here going, okay, winter's coming. I'm hearing it all, right? So the Iceman was on vacation, chilling, and the heat warm in the Philippines. So then he passed. What happened? Everybody pooped all over his name, right? So when he passed, more men started speaking up, not really defending his honor. Because what's happening nowadays, it needs to happen. In order for things to correct itself, this has to happen. Accountability time. But I'll say something. He said winter's coming. Now me, I'm one of the guys that influenced the Passport Bros. And you know who I am? I'm the Iceman. And you know what? The Iceman is here. Winter's here now. I'm the Iceman, and I'm bringing frigid temperatures. Seriously, I was out in the heat for a long time. But where am I from? New York. And I'm talking about before I left, I was in upstate New York. I'm bringing that freezing cold Canada temperature. It's getting cold outside.
This is gonna hurt some feelings, so if you're sensitive, you might as well keep scrolling. This new generation of men, they don't like to spend money on females. They want this 50-50 thing. Men now seem to want to be equal with women, which is really weird. And for some reason, some men think that most women want to be equal with men. Baby, if I speak for 1% of 7 billion people, I'm telling you right now, I do not want to be equal with men. And there's a lot of females out here that do not want to be equal with men. We want you to stand up and be a provider. We want you to open the door.
Those days are over.
We want you to lead us. For real. But the only man that's going to lead me is a man of God. The only man that's going to provide for me is a man who got himself together. This new society has got it to where this burden is so heavy on women. Like, we got to birth your children. We got to keep the house clean. We got to do all these things and then still pay the bills, still take care of you, still do all these things. And all men can say is, well, we got a lot on our plate too. How about instead of complaining about having to be a man, how about you stick with women that'll settle for that? Because I've had relationships where a man expected me to settle for that. And I'm not settling for that. My dad took very good care of me, my mom, my family, and he didn't complain about it. I really think a lot of it boils down to these men not having fathers. And it sounds sad. And it probably sounds mean. But really, these men are being raised by women. And some of these women are fatherless, so they don't even know what a father or a man of the house is supposed to act like. I had both my parents, and I got to see what a successful family looks like. Dad being in the house, mom being in the house. My parents been married 33 years. It's different from the stories I hear from people who don't have the dad in the house. And sometimes it makes me wonder, like, can I just never date a guy who didn't have a dad? Like, should I just stop dating guys who don't have dads? Which sounds like bias, right? But realistically, it's like if all of the guys who were fatherless feel like this, it's just like, correct me if I'm wrong. If you were raised without a father and you feel like, no, I do want to be a man and be there for a woman like you're supposed to, then please leave a comment and say, no, I was fatherless and I still want to be like that. And I will respect it.
The crazy thing is, yeah, you say you got a daddy, but you're talking like you never had a daddy. Actually, I'll tell you what it is. Your daddy probably don't have his nuts. Why? Your mom probably has his nuts. She walks around with them in her pocketbook all day long. And you think your daddy's a man. Probably not. Probably not a man. I bet you if you talk to your mom, your daddy wasn't getting on a regular. And men are not hearing that nowadays. Standards, ladies. Men have standards. Kevin Samuels didn't start that. You understand? When you're talking like you do, you're talking like your father wasn't leading the home. You sound like a feminist.
Lost their male partners to red pill content.
Ooh, baby, do I have a story for you. Now, excuse my bonnet. I'm working from home today, okay? But I started experiencing this right when this red pill content started to kick off. Now, at the time, I was this happened when I was probably about 24, 25. I was dating this white guy who I had been with for a while before this had started happening. We were probably on year 4 or 5 of being together when he started watching content like this. Now, to preface this story, we had been together for 3 years and he wanted to get married. And I told him, well, I really want to meet your family and get to know them first before we decide to do that. So we ended up moving to Ohio. And also he really didn't like living in Colorado at the time. So I figured this would just be a good opportunity for us to get a new, a fresh start. And for me to meet his family and for us to start making plans towards marriage. Now, at first everything was okay, but it started becoming a problem in the relationship when he wouldn't like get his affairs in order so that we could move forward in our relationship. And one of the goals that I wanted to achieve was us buying a house out in Ohio. Now, if you know anything about Ohio, one of the things that I really liked about it is that the housing market at that time was ripe for the picking, y'all. Like, you could get a 3-bedroom house with a finished basement for like 70, 80K at that time. And I recognized this because, you know, Colorado 2017, 2018, the housing market was getting terrible. And so I moved to this place. I can, you know, get a house for a decent price. I really wanted to hop on that, but he just would not get his affairs in order so that we could do that together. I was also doing a lot for his mom, taking her to doctor's appointments. He also sprung like 3 dogs on me. So at this time, I'm taking care of him, taking care of his mom, and 3 dogs all by myself. And it was just getting out of control. So at the very tail end of our relationship, he started watching a lot of Ben Shapiro videos, which Ben Shapiro, I have no problems with him. There are some views that I feel like are just too far right for me. And then there are other videos that I do actually agree with him a lot on. But the thing that scared me the most was when he started watching this black man on YouTube who was so negative and mean-spirited towards black women. Baby, I mean, calling us hair hats, saying we're the worst rearers of children, just all around, just negative. Most of his content were geared towards how terrible he feels black women are. Now, he wasn't nice towards most women, but black women, that was his main, like, it was like rage baiting. That was like the start of when rage baiting really became a thing. And I don't really remember what the YouTuber's name was, but he was this black man, and he would always call black women like hair hats and stuff like
bonnets.
That. So if you remember that man on YouTube, wow. I think he ended up getting demonetized and moving to Patreon. But my white boyfriend is watching this content constantly, all the time, every day, just constantly just feeding his mind with this. And it was weird to me because when we first started dating, he would tell me like black women are his preference. That's what he goes for. He does not date any other race of women. Like, black women are his preference. And so it was just weird to me that, okay, black women are your preference, but you're sitting here listening to this man spew all this rage and hate towards black women. You would think that you wouldn't be his target audience. But what really scared me, or what really made me decide to leave the relationship, was one, I ended up finding out that his family, not his mom or immediate family, but his like aunts and uncles, they're the boomer generation. And I ended up finding out they were very, very racist. And he's now starting to project the stuff that he's watching on YouTube into our relationship. And y'all, I'm scared. Like, I'm getting scared because I've never experienced racism, especially in a relationship. I've never experienced that in my life. I live in Colorado, okay? They're very progressive out here. So the fact that I'm going through this in my relationship, y'all, I'm starting to get scared. I'm 1,200 miles away from my family. You know, I'm taking care of everybody on my own. I'm starting to panic at this point. But I eventually did decide to go ahead and leave the relationship. Shout out to my homegirl, Kate, and her family, because without them letting me come stay with them for a couple of weeks, I probably would not have been able to get back home to Colorado. So shout out to Kate and her family, because they really saved me, and they let me save every day for 2 weeks straight. Her mom didn't charge me no rent. And they let me stay in their basement. They had a bed and everything. It was a nice situation. And I worked 16-hour days every day for 2 weeks and got the hell up out of there, y'all. And he did eventually hit me up later on, you know, apologizing for everything he was doing, you know, not helping me support our household and helping me support the family, and, you know, doing what he needed to do as a grown man, and then also spewing all that craziness towards me. You know, he did apologize later.
He started sipping again
and try to get back in my good graces. But baby, I will never deal with anything like that. If you don't 100% love women or love black women, baby, I'm gone.
She gotta be lying.
Yeah, that was probably one
She
of
gotta
the
be lying.
scariest breakups I ever had, because I'd never experienced nothing like that before. So, and I really think that like 2017, 2018, 2019, that was really the start of all this red pill, rage bait content towards women. I saw it with my own eyes spew into my relationship and break us up, y'all. It was crazy.
See, she's lying, right? Because she's the example. You saw in the first video when the brothers were saying they're tired of ladies being overweight. She was the example. The bonnet wearing, overweight having, looked like she just lost her neck, right? Look, ladies, they thought it was going to get better. I've noticed the content has increased. And shout outs to certain sisters I see putting it on, right? I see Just a Girl doing it. I see Cher Sade doing it. There's certain ladies letting you have it on YouTube. You also have, what's the other girl's name? The other girl. I forgot her name. But she's married. She got a husband. She always does live streams for like an hour. I forgot her name. I can't think of it. But so many ladies letting y'all have it. They thought it was going to get better. But you know what also happened, right? Since then, the Passport Bros came. And it's harder because the Iceman is here. You know what happens? The Iceman is like the candy man, right? He comes, all the ladies scatter.
Winter is here.
I've been seeing a few videos of girls claiming they lost their boyfriends to red pill content. Here's the thing. A lot of people like grew up without male figures and they never got in their masculine, right? So red pill content was pretty much the first time they heard a man say, yo, respect yourself. You ain't got to listen to every word she says. You're not a walking doormat. You have balls. Use them, right? So the theory of you losing your boyfriend 9 times out of 10 just means that you can't control him anymore. So, like, what's the real issue?
Using you to go to the gym? I was like, there's a gym 5 minutes from my house. What? Y'all want to know why I hate dating in this generation? Get ready for this first date story. So I matched with a dude on Hinge. On his profile, it gives 3 options for date ideas, and one of the date ideas is the gym. Love a good gym date. So he sends me a paragraph. He's like, oh, you know, I'm not really into the back and forth. Like, I just want to meet up. And I said, oh, okay, yeah, I'm with that. He proceeds to say, oh, you want to get a drink tonight? And I'm like, oh, that's a little too last minute for me. You want to go to the gym tomorrow? He says, yeah. I ask him, is it the one by the bridge? He says, oh, I'm not sure. Go look it up. I'm supposed to go look up the gym that you go to multiple times a week. Okay. From there, I proceed to say, I'm actually not familiar with the area. Can you tell me like the address or whatever? He says, oh, well, I don't really want to go to the gym on the first date, actually. I like to lock in when I go to the gym, and I'm not trying to be nobody's personal trainer. I said, I'm not looking for a personal trainer. I have been in the gym for a couple years now. I've already had a personal trainer who taught me form, who taught me all the things I needed to know. So when I go to the gym with a man, I'm not looking for him to coach me or nothing like that. Like, it ain't none of that. But I don't say that. I say, listen, I'm not looking for a trainer. I've been in the gym for years. I don't need help. I say, from there, I say, listen, I already got dressed to go to the gym. Your profile says you're willing to go to the gym. And I don't really need help. Like, I'm just, here to vibe out. He's like, oh, okay, cool. So, show up there. He says he's going to be there at 1. He doesn't get there till like 1:30 or something like that. Not a big deal. I ended up being late too. Doesn't matter. I get there. I have a bag. He says, oh, you got to put the bag away. And I say, well, it has like some of my gym stuff in it. Like, do I have to? And he's like, yeah, like it's not allowed in here. While I was in the locker room putting the gym away, I watch a woman pack up her gym bag and walk out of the thing with her gym bag. Okay? So when I came into the gym, I had my headphones in. And I did have to ask him a couple times what he was saying, so I pulled the headphone out of my ear, and he was like, oh, yeah, you got your headphones in? And I was like, yeah, like, you said that you want to lock in, so I just brought my headphones. But then he looks, and I come back out, and I still have the headphones, and he's like, oh, you still got your headphones in? Don't know why that's a big deal. Like, he's making me uncomfortable. So I continue on the conversation. I'm like, oh, so what you doing today? He's like, oh, I'm doing upper body. I'm like, oh, okay, I did upper body on Thursday, so I'm probably not going to do it today. But we go to this secluded room, and it's just me, him, and one other person in there. This room has dumbbells up to about 75 pounds. It's got kettlebells up to probably like the same 70. It's got like the bar, the 45-pound bar. It's got the plates to go on the bar. It's got a little jungle gym. I feel like you could do upper body workouts in this area. He proceeds, as we're stretching, to be like, oh, okay, since we're doing different stuff, I'm just gonna go and do my thing and you could just be in here. I was like, okay. He did say he wanted to lock in, so I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm in here, I'm doing my deadlifts, I'm doing single leg RDLs, I'm doing a little bit of core work. I did about 3 workouts before I left that room. I go to the machines, I do some hip abductions, and I do some leg press. After that, I see him, he's doing something. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. But I go over to the free weight, like that's normally in front of a mirror, and I start doing Bulgarian split squats, and I do some wrist workouts. Once I do that, how many workouts did I just name? And I did at least 5 sets of each, 10 reps. You feel me? Like, I don't be playing. So once I'm basically done with the Bulgarian split squats, he comes over and I'm like, hey. He's like, hey. And I'm like, how's the workout going? He's like, it's going cool. And then he starts laughing a little bit. And I'm like, oh, what's funny? He's like, I don't know. I just feel like you came here just to go to the gym. And I was like, no, we was in there together and you said you wanted to go do your own thing, so I didn't want to impose or whatever. And he was like, no, that's not how I felt, da, 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 da. So we started talking a little bit, and he's like, oh, you want to go in the room, the same room now that we were just in, that you left me. And he's like, oh, you want to go in that room? It could be a little bit more private. Go into that room, there's 3 people in there. So he starts talking, he's going like, yeah, like I don't just want to like work out here and then we go our separate ways, like I want to hang out with you. I'm like, oh, okay, so what'd you have in mind? He says, oh, well, we could go to my crib, or we could go get a smoothie or something, da, da, da. I'm like, okay, we could go get smoothies. He's like, smoothies on you? And I was like, no. He's like, oh. I'm like, yeah.
Make a long story short, right? She's expecting the red carpet. This is what feminism did, right? Men aren't laying out the red carpet because they don't have to, right? Men expect equal treatment now. Congratulations. That's what was brought in. That's what you ladies wanted. Equal treatment. You ladies chose the bear. Equal treatment is what he's giving you. You're gonna pay for us movies? Do something. Listen, there was a, what do you call it? A soft man era for a reason. Do you know who's doing these things? Do you know what kind of women are doing these things? Take a look.
Come on, let them see my princess treatment.
Well, you're supposed to be sitting in the car.
Okay, I got you. I got you. We are in a new day and age, all right? I want princess treatment. I want my gas pump too. So this is what we're about to do today. Ain't that right? Come on, let them see my princess treatment.
Well, you're supposed to be sitting in the car.
Okay, I got you. I got you. Where I'm from, we put in the word, goddamn. It's a two-man team. It ain't just no one-way street. Love is not a one-way street. It got to go both ways.
It's not working.
Oh, baby, you got to flip the handle up.
I know how to pump.
No, you got to flip the handle up over there on the diesel tank. Yeah, flip that up.
How do you feel anything?
Thank you. Feel good. I get my gas pump for the first time ever in my life.
Kings, this girl sends me a message, says, "Hey, handsome, how's your day?" So I send her a message back, "Not a good day." She's like, "Oh no, what's wrong?" I'm like, "I was day trading, took the long position in DJT, lost $25,000. And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope you make it back." I instantly hit her with a block. First of all, I'm in my soft guy era. I'm not day trading to lose money. If you find out that I lost $25,000 in the stock market, I better see you put that $25,000 back in my brokerage account. Drizzle, drizzle.
Do you need anything from the store?
I would like an ice cold water.
Girl claims that she lost her boyfriend to the red pill movement. So it's finally working. But look at the comments she is trying to reply to, where someone is asking, as all American men should, what is it that she brings to the table? Now, of course, the real answer is nothing besides sex, but I get ahead of myself.
During the pandemic, and I was staying with him in Vancouver, and something changed. And you want to know what changed? He started watching podcasts like Fresh and Fit. He started listening to content about MGTOW, and that man changed.
Honestly, sometimes I sit here and wonder if trying to red pill American and European men who are mainly simps is ever going to work. And seeing videos like this more and more out there makes me think that it's finally working.
And I would sit across from him and not understand the person that I was seeing. I felt like I was waking up to somebody that I did not know.
Yes, women like her are not happy that men are finally waking up to their and saying no to simping. And so it looks like her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, finally realized he doesn't want to give and never receive, besides, that one thing that can always be purchased at a much lower price, I might add. So he decided to no longer take and finally asked for something in return, which essentially was the original comment, and started holding her responsible for her words and actions. And oh boy, modern women do not like any of that. It's like a gluten allergy to them.
The person I was in love with, the person I wanted to marry, changed overnight because of the content like that. And I see now the men who do watch that content. I hear the things that they say.
Well, this is better than I thought. It looks like not only her boyfriend was finally starting to push back, but she also started to hear more and more men say the same thing. But notice she never answered that comment what she actually brings to the table. Most women can't. And kudos to all of those American and European men like her boyfriend who are finally starting to wake up, starting to hold women responsible for their actions and words, and most importantly, finally, demand respect for themselves. And of course, as always, if you do live in America or Europe, I recommend getting the out of there and moving to a country with traditional values and traditional women. If you want to know how, go to themillionmenproject.com.
Those who get it, and this is exactly why I tell you guys, quit arguing and telling men that they need to provide for you, that they need to take care for you, that they need to do for you. The real high value men get it. They understand it. They grasp the concept. This is why I don't go back and forth with no body. Either you're going to be the provider.
What is going on with the way men are talking to women these days?
Oh, it's the red pill content, and it's now so officially widespread and unavoidable that whilst it was originally aimed at people in like their 20s and high school, middle school years, it's reached people in their 30s and 40s, and I want to talk about it today because I've started to notice it too. Although in fairness, it really started to pick up and gain traction around like 10 years ago, so males in their 20s are now in their 30s and approaching their 40s, and this is how you ruin entire generations and spans of males and dating for everyone. And if you're not familiar with red pill content, it's a lot of things now, but originally started as like male, like gym bro influencers trying to like teach beta males how to get women, but they would teach them all the wrong things so that they never actually got women, and they would be continually reliant on their channels and they made money forever. But a huge problem with that, besides the fact that men are literally just keeping each other down, is that women also have to deal with the outcomes of this, because it's teaching them to treat women like garbage, and apparently that's how you get girls, which obviously never works. And it became so prevalent that I literally gave up on dating a few years ago because it was so irritating to deal with such horrible little men. And it's literally so unbelievably wild when you see it in person. About a year and a half ago or so, a friend of mine and I were at a bar somewhere, and we ran into this group of guys, and we got to talking and kind of hit it off. And it was like a large group, and they were like, oh, a bunch of us are gonna go back and like chill at the apartment and like listen to music, maybe watch the movies if you guys want to come hang out. And it was a large group, and we were like, sure, that sounds fun, like an after party function. And so the moment we leave and we start like walking back to their apartment, which is a few blocks away, these men start being like weirdly passive aggressively rude to us, just openly, like blatantly to our faces. Like backhanded comments, subtle negging, all this is very like day one introductory to red pill content, right? Neg women and put them down. So literally red flags left and right till it gets to the point where we're like halfway to their apartment, and I turn to my friend, I like take her aside and I'm like, hey, what is going on here? And she's like, I don't know, but this is weird. Like, why are they suddenly such a-holes? And we both agree, like, we feel like we've committed to this. We're almost to the apartment, but if things don't turn around the second we get there, like, we're out because this is horrible. What is wrong with these men? So we finally get to the apartment where they said one of them lives, but then like a bunch of the other guys are just visiting in town, which is why there's blow up air mattresses everywhere. But right away, the whole place is decorated like an Airbnb, and the vibes feel very hotelish. And my friend picks up on this right away too, and we pull each other into the bathroom where again, it looks like bathroom essentials at an Airbnb, and we're like,
I gotta stop it right there, right? Because these are men we're talking about. And what happened is men said, F that, I'm just gonna be me and not deal. Look how you're thinking. All of you sound the same. They don't know there was a problem. To them, everything was perfect. Feminism brainwashed them. It brainwashed superstars. It brainwashed all modern women. It brainwashed little girls to believe in the princess treatment. And men were brainwashed as well, providing that princess treatment. All men did was wake up. Now you have to be accountable. Welcome to the future.
Where men are consuming this like weird red pill content, and you really like you don't know.
I don't want to hear another one.
You know, I totally understand when a single man that has been unlucky in love falls down like a red pill pipeline, right? But what's terrifying to me is all the men that I know that have wives and longtime girlfriends, and they have good wives that take care of their children and their home and them, good girlfriends that cater to them and love them. These men have had good mothers and good sisters, but they still fall down the red pill pipeline, the woman hating pipeline. That you could be in a relationship with a good woman and still just fall down that pipeline is terrifying to me. And a lot of these men too, they also have daughters. It's crazy.
You know, listen to what she said, right? Because all the guys I know, I see guys all the time down in the comments saying, I'm teaching my daughters like this. I'm teaching my daughters not to accept this. These men understand how you ladies were being led is false. And they're helping their daughters. And the women that are with us are being helped. Seriously, you ladies need help. why don't you listen to what we're saying and learn something? Because what's happening is this is happening to men. And I'm happy it's happening.
Quick thought. For all you ladies that like to get married to a person, right? Lose interest in the marriage and then file for a divorce and then try to take everything you can from that man, just understand you're going to have to revisit that same energy in the future. I know you probably thinking you're getting away with something. You probably thinking you're coming up. You probably thinking you're getting what you deserve, but you have to understand that that's not the right way of doing things. I see it all the time. I continuously see people getting into marriages, becoming unhappy in the marriage, so they leave the marriage and then try to destroy the man. And a lot of men has been hurt and hindered by that process. You have to understand that you only gonna get out of life what you put in it, right? So be mindful of how you treat people. Be mindful. Don't take from nobody, especially if it's not yours to take.
If my wife tells me no again to some intimacy, I'm going to cheat tonight. I do not care. I do not care anymore. It's been 2 weeks I've been asking my wife, can I please have some? And she's like, no, I don't want to do it tonight. I don't know what to do. Tonight, if I ask her one more time tonight, I swear to God, I'm cheating tonight. I don't care. I'm going to cheat on my wife. Yes, I said it on TikTok. I'm going to cheat. Listen, I'm her husband. She's supposed to give me some, right? I don't know what it is with her lately. She just does not want to give me some. I'm a man, like I'm your husband. You're supposed to give me some. It's been 2 weeks. Am I tripping? And plus, her sister has been looking at me a little funny. I think if her sister's with it, I'm going to do it. I swear to God, her sister is fine too. Listen, whatever. I might just go ahead and cheat tonight. I don't care, bro.
Okay, I want to blow the lid off this bullshit story that all these supposed gurus and experts are trying to sell you about men not having sex in their marriages and why it's the woman's fault and how she's become emotionally despondent or she's checked out emotionally or why she doesn't want to have sex.
Shut up. Get out here. You gotta
I
go.
hear from...
You gotta go.
So I'm staying in Mexico. I'm never going back to the UK ever again.
No.
You're my wife. You're my Latino wife now.
So we are going to have 11 kids.
We're gonna have kids.
Yeah.
How many?
5.
5.
Black kids.
Black, half Mexican, half black.
Yeah, like bilingual. Spanish.
Spanish and English.
Yeah.
I'm not sad about that. I'm happy.
So it's coming.